Good afternoon, honorable guests who are joining us both online and on-site for today's Watersight AquaRing Asia product launch. I'd first like to welcome and thank everyone for attending. Joining us from online, we have Ellie, the board chairman and co-founder of Watersight, Gilad, the business development director of Watersight, and also David, the general manager of MEKOROT Innovation. On site, we have Amir, the Consulate General of Israel in Hong Kong, Dr. So, Chairman of Newsight Imaging Hong Kong, Grace So, COO of AI InnoBio, Dr. Wong, data scientist and expert in spectrometry, Dr. Amanda Lim, Director of ACH Worldwide Limited, Dr. Locke, Board Chairman of CMA, and Mr. Dominic Lam, COO of CMA. Today's guest speakers will share with you the AquaRing's product specification and also the future of water technology. A live product demo for the AquaRing will also be featured before we enter the panel Q&A session to address further questions. To start, I would like to invite Mr. Eli Assoolin, the board chairman and co-founder of Watersight, to kick off this product launch event.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us today. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Peter Yan for hosting this event, and as well as thanking ACH, a great team with Dr. Amanda Lim for helping to organize this. And of course, thanking our distinguished speaker, Mr. Amir Lati, Consul General, Mr. Gilad Horn, BizDev Director at Watersight, Mr. David Balsar, General Manager of Innovation, and of course, Dr. George So, our board member, partner, and investor from Hong Kong. So let me just give you a brief about Newsight. Newsight is the mother company of Watersight. So Newsight Imaging is the Israeli semiconductor startup. We were founded at 2016. The company developed a high performance of affordable image sensor. We have two kinds of sensors. One is for machine vision and one is for spectral analysis product. We are a company that actually sells the chips already. We sold a few 100,000 chips already. We have 80 active evaluation. We have 3 offices, one main headquarter, main R&D in Israel, and we have in Hong Kong, with chairman is Dr. So, Newsight Hong Kong. And we have a company in Shenzhen. we just got 2 awards, one from Frost & Sullivan of being best in automotive sensor innovation leadership, and we were selected by EE Times as one of the 100 startup to watch, to follow on 2022. And actually these 2 awards are only from the last weeks. So a word about us. My partner and I know each other for over 25 years. We are both semiconductor guys coming from semiconductor. We work for big companies like Motorola Semiconductor, like Intel. And we both established Newsight Imaging as well as the daughter companies. Our management team is with vast experience in semiconductor, and our board of directors are all currently from China mainland and Hong Kong, as you can see. About the history of the company, so we were founded at 2016. We received almost immediately a grant from the Israeli Innovation Authority. We launched our first product. After about 12 months, we already had the chip, and then we launched it later. The NSI 3000, that is, by the way, one of our best sellers until now. We were named by Gartner a cool vendor. And then on 2019, we expand the businesses and we launched the second chip NSI 1000. And then 2020, the year that the COVID started, we launched Watersight. Watersight is a daughter company dealing with pathogen detection. Part of what they can do is to detect a pathogen in 20 seconds. I mean, this is how we can detect COVID-19. And 2021, we continue expanding and selling mainly in China. And 2022 is the year of growth. And as you may hear from our partner in Hong Kong, this year is a very meaningful year for us, and we plan a transaction this year. So anyone that is interested to listen about our future is welcome to speak to Dr. Amanda Lim and our team in Hong Kong. Just to make some order, so basically Newsight Imaging is active on two kind of product. First is the machine vision. In the machine vision, we do 3D image sensor. So we are active in automotive, like ADAS system, like blind spot monitoring. We are active in industry 4.0. We can monitor production line and very accurately measure the product on the production line. We are the eyes of the robots. Robotic can look only in 3D. And of course, smart city, smart building, all of these are already, things that we are doing and selling. This is for the machine vision. For the spectral analysis, we act differently through daughter companies. So we have two, Watersight Diagnostic with Israeli Hospital, Sheba Hospital, and we are dealing there with pathogen detection. As I said, we introduce a system that can identify COVID-19 in a matter of 20 seconds, and now we finished 2 months ago a clinical test in Europe, and now we start deployment, including Hong Kong, Hong Kong, it's on the way to Hong Kong already. So we think that the solution of Watersight Diagnostic will replace the PCR and enable pandemic control. And finally, last but not least, Watersight, our joint venture together with Israeli water company, MEKOROT, and this is what we are going to focus today. So we have a mutual joint venture with MEKOROT. MEKOROT is, by the way, fully owned by Israeli government. And we have established this company a year ago, but we already have now a starting of attraction with some products, and this look very, very good. There is an investment opportunity in Watersight, and whoever want to get this one pager and maybe much more can get it. For a Chinese investor, we prefer that, and we welcome you to approach Dr. Amanda Lim and the ACH. She can explain everything about the investment. From other investor, you can directly approach us. We'll be more than happy to add more valuable investor to this exciting venture. It's not only investing in a company, it's investing in a very important impact thing that will help the earth, that will help humanity. So by investing, it's not that you only do some money, and I'm sure that this company will fly, but also it's contribute as a great contribution to humanity and to the impact investment. So before I hand over to the next speaker, I want to show you a short clip that my talented team prepared. This is the place to say thank you to Libby for preparing this clip. I think that in this clip, in about 2 to 3 minutes, we can exactly explain what we are doing and how it looks like. So 1 second, let's
The world is facing an invisible water crisis. Even in the 21st century, we have no way of ascertaining what our water quality is making. Water management is one of the most critical sustainability issues our world is facing today. Real-time water monitoring is essential for decision makers to retain clean water for public health. Utility and industry leaders are constantly searching for solutions that will answer this need. Current available solutions are either too slow, expensive, large, require lab testing, or uncommunicative. This leads to many adverse water events being undetected on time. Watersight's AquaRing is an innovative device that provides real-time alerts and decision support for water and liquid process control. Created by Watersight, a joint venture between MEKOROT, Israel's national water company, and Newsight Imaging, an advanced CMOS sensor company. The patent-pending AquaRing is a sensing device specifically designed for continuous condition-based monitoring. Based on the NSP 1020 spectral chip, the AquaRing takes thousands of multispectral images per second in the visible and near-infrared spectrum, enabling an extensive data set for different applications. This IoT device is powered by AI and is supported by a cloud-based dashboard. The device learns and models the normal flowing condition while constantly taking spectral signatures and broadcasting them to the cloud for immediate analysis. Once an anomaly is detected, an alert notification will be generated, and since this is a learning system, the event is tagged, so the next time this anomaly occurs, the operator knows the source of this specific anomaly. From source to tap, inlet to outlet, the AquaRing solution is fast, smart, and scalable at an unbeatable price. An ideal solution for endless applications and use cases, such as utilities, smart buildings, water meters, food and beverage industries, agriculture, and more. Watersight is already at a commercial growth, collaborating with industry leaders. We now invite you to join our pilot program to explore your specific use cases. Our pilot kit includes a set of AquaRing devices, an installation kit, and a custom software. You can now start evaluating your specific use cases with our team's close guidance and support. Contact our team today to see what Watersight can do in your use case.
So I hope it was clear, but even if not, we have still Gilad that will give a very detailed explanation of what we do and how we do. And I want to thank you again for your time for attending this. And let's see the ride. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Amir Lati, Consulate General of Israel in Hong Kong, to give some opening notes before we introduce the AquaRing.
Thank you very much. I have to say it's a bit challenging to speak in front of the same people over an hour and surprise you with new insights, but I will try. I have to say that I'm extremely happy that the Newsight people are virtually with us. I met Newsight for the first time in 2017, a year after they were established in Mianyang in Sichuan. I was a consul general there, and I'm very happy to see how this company really emerged and is constantly developing new technologies. To say, when I'm being asked to speak about the origins of the Israeli innovation or the Israeli innovation spirit, there are few elements. Some of them are cultural elements, educational elements, government support. I am from the government, I need to stress that. But there's also, of course, the geopolitical situation where Israel is, and there is the fact that Israel is lack of natural resources. Lack of natural resources to the extent that the Middle East altogether has water shortage. But Israel has managed to overcome it. And one of the main reasons for that is innovation. It's creating water, producing water from the sea by desalination. Is having the highest percentage of recycled water in the world. 75% of the water in Israel is being recycled. And I think today when we will see this solution by Watersight, which is really introducing the technology and the developments of the tech of Newsight with its cutting-edge sensors, and adding it to experience of MEKOROT, which, as mentioned, is a government company that is in charge of something like 90% of the water management in Israel, and it was established like 85 years ago. There you have technology and experience binded together. And here in Hong Kong, again, in Cyberport, they will use it as a foothold, but again, not only to Hong Kong, but to the entire China market and Asia market. So we do see it as another very fine example of Israeli innovation now in the field of water technology, which is also very important, I believe, here. Let me just wish that from the 45 people, if I'm not mistaken, that are today online with us, next time they will not only be online with us, but physical with us, and we will be able to have these events not only on a hybrid dimension, but also physical one. Again, thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Amir. Continuing to the main event, I would like to invite Mr. Gilad Horn, the Business Development Director of Watersight, to introduce to us the AquaRing's product specifications.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for joining. It's a very exciting event to open this Asia launch for this very special product. How can I move the slides? Right. Next slide, please. Okay, so my name is Gilad Horn. I'm a Director for Business Development in Watersight. I've been in water for most of my professional life. I've worked for large engineering firms. I've worked for startups. I've started startups. And I've worked for venture capital and private equity in this field. It's a great honor leading the business development here at Watersight. I think what we're doing is quite innovative and groundbreaking. Next slide, please. Okay, so the world is facing an invisible water crisis. What this means is that we do not know the quality of our water in real time. And the machinery that we may have that can tell some of the quality is very expensive, very large. It can be very uncommunicative, not talk to each other, or many of them would require a lab to end the parameter testing. We hope to change at least some of that. Next slide, please. So like Eli said and Amir emphasized, we are a joint company between Newsight Imaging, which Eli introduced, and MEKOROT, which is the national Israeli water company. Born out of necessity, we've been an innovator in water quality in Israel because of scarcity. Next slide, please. Okay, let's dive into the technical details. So everything we do is based on this tiny chip. If you see, I'm holding here in my hand. It is the NSP1020 sensor. The NSP1020 sensor can take up to 4,000 images per second. That's a lot of images in the wavelength between 400 and 1,000 nanometers. So it's a multi-spectral array. We measure the absorbance like a spectrophotometer in the visible and near infrared spectrum. And everything we see as data. So this sensor is AI ready, And everything that is measured is sent as vectors for machine learning algorithms to turn over. Next slide, please. Now, having this amazing chip, we decided to put together and make the AquaRing. Here you can see one of the earlier designs next to my, you can't see anything because of the background, but it is very small. You see near my cup of tea, it is very, very, very small. It's a full IoT device. It sees the water in real time. Water can flow through it. And all of the data that it sees is sent to AI for processing. Now, the AquaRing today has water flowing through it. And very soon it will be able to be submerged in a tank or in a reservoir, floating wherever needed. Next slide, please. Because of this innovative technology, and I must say very low cost when compared to competitors, this makes our technology extremely scalable. What that means is that we can, for the price of one sensing machine, we can put tens or even sometimes hundreds of AquaRing devices, which can give us a very high resolution to see into different things in water and process, and other liquids as well, by the way. Now, what we measure, and this is important, is we call it condition-based water monitoring. Condition-based water monitoring means that we, this is a learning system, so we learn what type of water or fluid or beverage or even a fuel is flowing through it. We classify it as normal. And then afterwards, when it is after it is classified as normal, we start running the system. And when the system sees an abnormality from the regular water quality, it will alert, and then it will learn, as you can see here in this animation. Melanie, please click. Yeah, that's right. So here you see, after a learning phase, it is inside the threshold. And what you see at 11:43 is when we dosed it with a contamination. Here it was blue food coloring, and you see it immediately rises above the tolerance level. And then we added another drop. The concentration is going down because it is a circulation system. Now, HB, which is a Newsight Imaging Hong Kong branch engineer, is going to demo the AquaRing. Is going to start showing you the learning phase. So HB, please, the floor is yours. Please unmute HB.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So what we have here today in Hong Kong is that we have our product AquaRing. And for the demonstration purpose today, I have prepared 2 tanks of water. One is the clean water, which is going to be set as the normal status fluid. As what Gilad explained just now, it is a condition-based monitoring system. So anything that I am learning right now is going to be the normal status for the AquaRing system. And the other second tank of water is a water spike with contaminant. And later I will show on the software what is the normal status of water. And then I will turn off the clean water tap and then switch it to the water containing the contaminant. And then right here, it is an output tank just to fetch all the outflow water from the AquaRing. So right now, I will switch over the Zoom to share my screen. So what you see here is the software, proprietary software for AquaRing. So right now you can see that it is under normal condition because this is what I have set previously before our presentation. So you can see that the iterations is increasing, meaning that it is taking spectral images real time and continuously. And later on, I will switch the tab between the 2 tanks of water here, and then we'll see if there's any changes on our software. So do note that the status right now is a normal condition, and which is what we define to the system. So I'll pass the floor back to Gilad.
Thank you very much, HB. Now, this is condition-based monitoring is very interesting. I know that many of you may be asking, what can you measure? We will get into it very soon when we talk about use cases. But using condition-based monitoring, we can do quite a lot of things. Now, I'll dive into the business model very quickly. Sensing as a service, this is what we do. This is our business model. What it means is that it's like a SaaS model, but first of all, the customer pays a low one-time fee for the AquaRing device. The AquaRing is very cost competitive. And then there is a subscription fee for use of the software and for the license and for any updates. Because when one AquaRing learns something, immediately all AquaRings, if they are updated using the updated software, can also see these things. So if an AquaRing sees something in Dubai that is new, it can also, of course, happen in Hong Kong when it sees the same type of contaminant or issue. It doesn't have to be only contaminants. So this is the business model. Next slide, please. The digital water market is the fastest growing vertical right now as an OPEX category in water utilities, as well as other water verticals. Next slide, please. So Watersight is quite a young company. We're 1 year and 2 months old, but beforehand we had 2 years of proof of concept and verification with MEKOROT, and also a lot of what our sister company Watersight did went into what we do. So we got a head start. So we had also already a lot of data and a lot of know-how to begin what we do. So of course we're working with MEKOROT. We are in contact with the largest faucet manufacturer in the United States, Moen, a part of Fortune Brands. They sell about $6 billion a year worth of faucets. We work with the innovator in drip irrigation, Netafim. Netafim was our first customer, our first paying customer. We help to classify water. You'll see more about it in the next slides. We are frequently showcased. Thank you. We're frequently showcased on IL Utilities, which is a global innovation hub. A2A, the largest utility in Italy, currently just purchased 2 of our AquaRing pilot programs. I will tell you more about it in my final slide. I think the AquaRing program, pilot program, is very exciting way to get to know us. And we're also working with AB InBev, the world's largest brewer. These are just a few of the companies we can talk about. There are, since we started taking orders for the pilot, we've had quite a lot of traction during the past month. Next slide, please. So our team, Watersight is currently incubated inside Newsight. So a lot of our team are Newsight employees that are currently working most of their time for Watersight, helping us develop these exciting machines and our software. We produce the software, the hardware, of course, the chips, everything is in-house. So with me, we have Erez, the head of the spectral business from Newsight, Libby, who is the business director for the spectral business in Newsight as well. Michal Cooper, which many of you already know from Newsight, the head of strategic partnerships. And Dr. Nativ Rothbard, who is our lead researcher. He's an agronomist and a chemist, analytical chemist. Our board is comprised of Eli and Eyal and David Balsar, who will talk very soon after me, the head of innovation and investment at MEKOROT, our mother company. Next slide, please. Now I will talk about market applications. The interesting thing to keep in mind here is, since we do condition-based monitoring, we do not look for a single contaminant or something. We look for change from the normal. So we learn what is normal and then we search for the change. This change can be many things. It can be water quality indicators. It can be also water safety and security indicators. And it can be other things the more we talk to customers, to potential customers, the more we learn how many things could possibly be seen when thinking outside the box. Next slide, please. In the beverage market or in the industrial market, where quality assurance is very important, and many times you have, you need that in a certain place in the process at a certain time, the liquid need to be in a very certain way, right? So for us, it's very easy because a lot of these have spectral signatures, which we can easily see. Next slide, please. Here, for example, what you see, which is on the x-axis, what you see is the wavelength from 400 to 1000, and on the y-axis, what you see is absorbance, spectroscopy absorbance values. We have 4 different concentrations taken of water and detergents, so 0, 0.2, 1%, and 2%. So if we're doing classical spectroscopy, which we are not doing, this would be very easy to say when you add a detergent, we can look at a certain wavelength, make a calibration curve, and tell you what the concentration of detergent, like in a clean in place process for a beverage between batches, etc. Next slide, please. What is more interesting in what we do is we don't only look at one wavelength, we take the entire spectral fingerprint. So here, for example, we took 3 beers. These beers are, they look exactly the same. If we put them in front of our eyes, if we put them all in the same glass, they will look exactly the same. We will not know the difference. But if you see, each one has a different spectral fingerprint. This spectral fingerprint is actually what is sent to our server and what we learn with the machine learning algorithm. So if there is any change from a spectral fingerprint of a flowing process, we can alert to it and then learn. For example, let's say we're making soy sauce, for example, and in the process of, and you have AquaRings installed throughout the process, let's say maybe 5 or 10 AquaRings, because there are different places in the process where you add things. And suddenly somebody didn't add the concentrated soy, and we see that, right? So the first time we see it, we alert and we raise a flag and we say, there is an alert, we see abnormal flow, right? So then the plant operator says, yes, I see now, I forgot to add the soy, or something was wrong with the dosing machine, and he tags it as we didn't add we didn't dose what was needed in this process. So next time something like this will happen in a process, it will alert to what happened. So next time it will happen, it will not only raise a flag, but it will also say you did not add the right ingredient at the right time. So you will have a different kind of process. Next slide, please. For water utilities in municipalities, this is also a very interesting use case. We are talking from the source of the water, from the aquifer, from the well, right? So from the reservoir, from the desalination plant, all the way to the wastewater treatment plant, we can monitor the entire process of the water. And in cities, for example, using condition-based monitoring is like having many eyes, smart eyes in the field in real time. So you can see changes in water, for example, corrosion events. For example, in the United States, a corrosion event that happened a few years ago in Flint, Michigan, when there was iron at the beginning in the water, it led to lead being in the water, and many people got sick. For us, it's very easy to see things like iron in water because of the discoloration that it causes. We can see it long before anybody else can, and we can alert to it. So, and we can also, because we are very we're not expensive, you can put many systems throughout the field, yeah, because they're small and they're cheap, and therefore you know where your problem is starting, and then you know where to change the pipe. Instead of raising the entire city street, you know what street or what block to change the pipes, and this can save a lot of money. And this is just one use case. We have numerous. Next slide, please. Up here you can see when we saw iron in water. It's easy for us to see it. Again, we don't alert to iron in water, we alert to an anomaly, and then we learn. Next slide, please. Wastewater. Wastewater is very important. In Israel, all over the world now, more and more people are using and reusing wastewater. Some go back to nature, like rivers and lakes, and some are used for agriculture and other uses. So throughout the wastewater treatment and after the wastewater treatment, you want to know that it's working well. You want to have this kind of oversight into the process. For us, it's very easy to see. Next slide, please. This was sent to us by one of our partners in a large agricultural company. What you see here, I mean, the samples, not we tested the samples. These are 5 different types of water. On the top band, what you see is raw wastewater. As you see, raw wastewater has a very high absorbance because it's very dark. It's very easy to discern from the other ones. The other 4 types of water, 2 of them are reused wastewater, secondary reuse that are used for agriculture. One is flood water coming from a reservoir, and one was drinking water that was kept in pipes very long time before they were used, so they also got a bit discolored. Now, it was very hard to see between the other 4 because they looked very similar. But when we, and if you look at the bottom squares, when we use the simplest statistical algorithms, before we even use machine learning, you can see that when we put one in front of the other, it is very easy for us to see what is treated wastewater and what is floodwater, and what is one type of treated wastewater and what is another. And this is why we use this condition-based. It's very easy for us to classify what we are looking for, and then to alert to an anomaly and then learn. Sometimes an anomaly can be an addition to a normal condition, and sometimes it can be something abnormal that you need to take care of. And the faster you take care of it, the better. Next slide, please. Another very interesting market is environmental monitoring. I think one of the biggest problems today, and this will become more and more with climate change, with more fertilizer in the water today because of agriculture, is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are small one-celled algae bacteria that have very bad toxins that can hurt water bodies and the people and animals that drink from it and bathe in it. And it's very hard to see them because they're very small. A lot of times they're used as a remote monitoring to see it, but usually you see it when they already started and the bloom is already very strong. Next slide, please. For us, it's very easy to see cyanobacteria. This is just one example of an environmental marker that we can see very easily. If you can see here, this is a microcystis growth. Microcystis is a classical cyanobacteria. And we took in many different concentrations. In the very low concentrations, we thought that we could not see because it's almost impossible to see. But when we amplified the signal, which you can see on the bottom left of my slide, there you can see that when it was amplified, we can even see the bands of almost none, just starting as cyanobacteria, which means that we can see it when the bloom is just starting, and we can give an alert, and it's like a decision support system. So we say to the operator of the site, please stop sending water from this reservoir and send from another place, from a river, from somewhere else. In the meantime, treat the cyanobacteria, and we can see when the concentration goes back down and disappears for a right treatment. This saves a lot of money because there's a ton of chemicals to use when the bloom is already started, and people's health and animals and livestock health. So this is very important use case and very easy for us to see. Next slide, please. And one of the things we are moving towards is what's called a point of use system, B2B2C. So at the end of the day, we think our holy grail is to be in every faucet, in every home filtration system, a system like the AquaRing or our sensing module installed under the sink to see when the water quality changes, when the filters and what filters you need to use. Next slide, please. When we approach industrial clients, the easiest way to work with us, because we're all professional water, software, and chip people, so we know what we do. So we can have a very technical talk. So there's an initial connection where we study the needs afterwards together with the technical team of the company. Then we move on to a piloting or proof of concept phase. I will talk about it in my next slide, which is also my last slide. And after the pilot is successful, in the pilot, you can test multiple use cases in a very short time, very easily. After this pilot is successful, we go towards a joint product development and production, or just buying of the AquaRing and subscription. Next slide, please. The easiest way, we made it very easy to be in touch with us. The AquaRing 3 and AquaRing X pilot programs are, I think, the easiest ways to test I've ever seen in the water market. What we offer is this. We offer for the AquaRing 3, 3 AquaRing devices and a setup very much like what HB shows in live in Hong Kong, with tanks where you can spike it with contaminants and test. And you get very close support from us for 1 month or however long you like. But this is very, very close support. We follow you very closely. And together, in the course of a month or however long that is needed, we test multiple use cases. And through testing these multiple use cases, we understand which are the best for us to help you with, which have the best market in your company. And then we can move on very quickly. The AquaRing X is for larger companies or companies who want more advanced testing, where it is more custom made. And this is a custom price and custom made. You take 10 AquaRings or more, and you put them throughout your systems and you test them at many, many different use cases. This can be in buildings that are being built. This can be in cities, etc. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Thank you, Gilad, for the in-depth explanation on how the AquaRing functions and also how the unique sensing technology helps to provide an accurate diagnosis of the water's quality and security. Up next, I'd like to invite Mr. David Balsar, the General Manager of MEKOROT Innovation, to present us with a comprehensive analysis on the future of water technology.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Balsar. I'm heading innovation in MEKOROT. I'll give you a short overview of what we do in MEKOROT and an introduction to the company. Okay, so MEKOROT is the national water company of Israel. It was established in 1937, so quite a while ago. Some facts and figures. MEKOROT has a revenue of over $1 billion US per year. We employ more than 2,000 people. We are a AAA plus rating financially. And we are executing many projects in Israel and across the world. Some more facts and figures. We have more than 3,000 production and supply installation, 10 command and control centers, 43 desalination plants. We are responsible for 12,000 kilometers of water pipelines all across the nation of Israel. So it's a very elaborated grid. Responsible for more than 70% of total water consumption, 13 wastewater facilities, 85% of potable water in Israel, and we have 6 certified laboratories in the country. So we are dealing with all of the water cycle. There are a lot of water companies in the world, but MEKOROT is quite unique in the sense of that we are dealing with, as we said, with all of the water cycle, from production to transmission to water treatment, water reuse, and our unique position of integrating those areas is something that we are quite proud with. So Israel is situated in a quite an arid climate, so we don't have any, or we have one natural resource lake in the north, but it's quite small. So as a country situated in a practically a desert, we needed to be very innovative in order to provide all the water needs of the country and also to our neighbors. This actually triggered a lot of technology advancement. We've been running sea desalination plants across the Mediterranean Sea. So we have 5 desalination plants in the Mediterranean Sea, 1 more in the Red Sea, and 2 more are being built at the moment in the north. In the future, you know, considering climate change and all the challenges ahead with population growth and supply of water, fresh water is shrinking, we've been able to mitigate those risks and provide drinking water from sea desalination and water for agriculture from wastewater recycling. So that's basically our method of building a resilient water management system. So part of my role is sourcing technologies that can help us deal with the challenges ahead. Most of our effort goes into digital revolution, what we call. So we have cyber, we have digital transformation, IT, OT, a lot of AI, smart metering, AMI, AMR. So we have a lot of data across our system, and our goal is to have everything online and in real time. So part of the reason that we've embarked on this journey with Watersight is because we need a real-time indication of the water quality in our system, and Watersight has developed this very unique sensor that can be implemented online at scale and can give us a real-time indication of our water quality. So here are just a few of the challenges that we are focusing on. So big data, we generate more than 25 million bits of data per day. We have a very large deployment of smart sensors, AMI, across our network, so in the tens of thousands of them. So that produces a lot of data. Our challenge is to understand this data and make use of this data. And here is where Watersight comes into play, as well as other technologies that we are developing and investing in. It can be around predictive maintenance. It can be around water quality, about our energy consumption, and so on. A second notion is the circular economy philosophy that we strongly believe in. A good example would be our wastewater facility. We are running the biggest wastewater facility in Israel, perhaps in the Middle East, and it's all built on a circular economy. We're taking the wastewater and we treat them to the highest level. We call it reclaimed water, and this water goes then into irrigation, actually in the south of Israel, in the desert, in the Negev desert. And this produces hundreds of billions of dollars worth of fruit and vegetable exported globally. This circular economy effect also comes into play with biogas produced from the wastewater, and this biogas, this energy, is actually used to operate the wastewater facility. Another notion is cybersecurity. Israel is kind of in a rough neighborhood, a very complicated neighborhood, and we are, as a critical infrastructure, we need to be prepared for all sorts of cyber attempts. We are seeing perhaps 500,000 attempts per year, and we need to be prepared. So we have some technologies that can help us mitigate this risk. And lastly, end user needs, water quality. This is also where Watersight comes into place. We strongly believe that the end user, the end consumer, will have the option to monitor its water quality in the tap at home, and this can give him a real-time indication about his water quality. This is something that we are working on, and we do believe that this transparency and the high quality of water that we are delivering would be shown in such an application. So water quality for the end user is also a trend that is relevant for Watersight, and it's something that we are working on quite intensely. Next slide, please. This is just some examples of services that we provide to government, to companies, to countries. We're doing master planning. We have a lot of experience in desalination, in control and command, as we said, in cybersecurity and so on. I'll be happy to provide you more information if anyone wants. We're working in a lot of countries now with the Abraham Accords, with the new peace accords in the Middle East. We're working in Bahrain, in the United Arab Emirates, in Morocco, and so on, in India. So we are quite, we have quite a nice presence in the world. Next slide, please. And that's it for my end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Now we'll conduct a live product demo of the AquaRing led by HB, Newsight Imaging's Asia-based application engineer.
Hi. So like I explained just now, so I have set up what a normal status of water look like. So right now I will show like how did the product demo change. So what you see right now is the software on my computer. So you can see that the spectral just now, it is approaching the threshold. Do note that this learning process of water, stable flowing water, is a very slow process. We can see that the spectral just now, it was at the middle, and right now it is approaching the threshold. So it might take some time for the system to go from normal to abnormal, but we can see that it is changing in real time. Yeah. So that is all for the product demo in Hong Kong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, HB, for the fascinating product demonstration. Finally, I would like to invite Dr. Wong up front to facilitate the panel Q&A session to address any questions or comments from guests on site and online.
So at this moment, I'd like to open the panel for questionings. So I know that we have very a lot of professionals here in the water area, and they're really the expert. Okay, so so people can either subscribe the question online, or they can ask questions right here.
Dr. Wong, maybe you ask some questions yourself first.
Okay, I do have a question because again, I followed the project for a few years, so I know that all the exciting things happening. I just want to know how does Watersight determine the priorities? We have impurities, we have pathogens, we have heavy metals. So what are the what do you see is the most exciting projects you're working on right now that really can help improve the water quality in Israel and in that part in the Middle East? So what would be your priorities?
Thank you very much for the question, Dr. Wong. It's a good question. We can attack it from two directions, right? So you said from the water quality side. Let's talk from the market side. I think the easiest, the largest priority, of course, always is drinking water. That would be our largest priority, both for the utility all the way down through the point of entry into the building and to the home. So this is the #1 priority where our heart is at. If you ask me where the market is, I think the fastest way to reach the market would be to go to the industrial sector, where we have partners that want immediately a solution immediately to whatever problem they have in their process, or just to have more insights into their process and more quality control. As well as, if we do look at the municipal sector, privately owned companies that run municipal water bodies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question. There's a lot of competition in this area. What do you think are your biggest challenge in terms of getting to your particular target customer base?
Well, to have a good quality leads, especially when we're talking about municipal companies, utilities. Many utilities are notoriously slow and conformists, and very, very slow to adapt. They're usually not early adopters, but there are a few. When I say a few, I mean thousands, because I think there are tens of thousands of utilities in the world. So there's thousands of utilities which are embracing innovation. So reaching them, we do through first of all, bodies like IL utilities, which allow us a great exposure to many utilities from all over the world. I've talked to over 100 European utilities about a month and a half ago in London. We talked to Australian utilities. We're going to be in the US soon talking to utilities. So this is the best way to approach them. And also they approach us. Our pilot program is, there is a cost involved. They approach us and they want to pay. So it's kind of amazing, because they have real pain and they understand that maybe we can help them, and we can.
Understood, but what would you say would be your cutting edge that basically makes you stand out against the competition?
You mean technologically, right? So there's a few aspects. If we're talking about technology, first of all, it's the chip that we produce it. So we have full hardware control on it. The Newsight chip is very innovative, taking up to 4,000 images per second in a very small package. Here I'm holding the AquaRing. It's tiny. It's smaller than a glass of water. And it's a full IoT device that can communicate with the cloud, and at a cost. So the cost is something that really breaks everything. We're talking about machinery that costs sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. And in our case, it costs hundreds or maybe in the very low thousands.
Sorry.
Hello, Gilad, this is Daniel Chang.
Hello,
good to
Daniel.
see you online again. We have been working together for almost a year, discussing about the technology. I really get very excited as we talk about AquaRing. I think we saw the limitation on the early version using the sampling, taking tests, but being able to get the results, directly online continuously, that's the biggest advantage. And I guess answering to your technology question is, I think this is one of the biggest advantage. Also, because of this AI in the cloud backup and the ability to learn, that will help. Now, I built 175 wastewater treatment plants in Hong Kong already. Yeah. Okay, it's always an interest to find out, how good is the water coming out. Okay, so I see there's some potential, and I'm definitely looking forward to working with George and yourself on getting this sampling package, so we can actually, see how in the real life situation is working. And that's very exciting for us, and I'm looking forward to working closely with the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. It's very nice to hear from you. Thank you for your support.
Actually, I received another question online and asking for Ellie.
Ellie, what's the investment opportunity for this project? And as we see that this project is exciting with excellent technology and excellent opportunity.
If I understand correctly, the question, it was what is the investment size of this round? This was the question?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we try to raise up to $3 million. And the reason that we are limiting the investment is because the valuation is still low than we think it should be. As you know, in order to increase valuation, there are a few ways, but our way is surely going to work because what we do is to gain more commercial traction. So I get from my team every week at least one, commercial engagement, whether someone is interested on the pilot, whether someone is signing on the pilot, whether there is a potential to start something. So we see a lot of traction, and I'm almost 100% believe that the valuation will jump a few times next year. So if someone want to invest, we start to accept investment starting at $250,000 and up to overall accumulated of $3 million. And whoever does this, he will get registered in the Israeli registrant. Of course, he get company shares, and he will become our and MEKOROT partner. So we look forward to see more investors from this part of the world, because as I said, when I talk about Newsight, all of our Newsight investment coming from China mainland and Hong Kong. So there is no reason why we cannot get investment for Watersight also from this part of the world.
That's a lot, Ellie. So I think that you all may consider seriously for this great investment opportunity. So another question.
Hey, hi. Hello, I'm Dr. Kwan. I'm an ESG director. I'm just wondering, how does the AquaRing can help to address ESG concerns or ESG issues?
Sure. Okay, so ESG, we're talking environmental, social, and governance, right? So first of all, the E is maybe the easiest thing. Some of this we talked about already. But as we try to cut down on carbon emissions, these are all technical things, right? Carbon emissions, air and water pollution. So especially in water pollution, water, wastewater treatment, all of these things to make sustainability, like David Balsar from MEKOROT said, circular economy. All of these things need technology on the background, making sure and monitoring in real time. These things today are prohibitively expensive to put everywhere. And the AquaRing and our technology in general makes it possible to do that. So if it's water treatment, wastewater treatment, waste management, water usage, we can even look at water usage use cases and green energy initiatives. These are all things that we can help with.
Okay, I got a question online. It is from Mr. Morris Zhang. Is it possible to distinguish between several chemicals in a colored solution? Also, is that this technology specific to organic or inorganic substance?
Okay. Well, like I said in the presentation, what we do is condition-based monitoring. So what you can teach the system to, if you're looking at colored with multiple contaminants inside or multiple things that are not contaminants, we will learn to see the spectral fingerprint of whatever it is you want us to see. And if this spectral fingerprint changes, we will alert to it, right? This is what we do. And then we will learn. So that is the best way to do it. We're not looking for something specific, but the moment you characterize what you want to see, we will help you see it. This is one. And the other thing, organic, inorganic, again, it doesn't matter. As long as we see it, we can alert to it. Thank you for the question.
Any more questions?
Actually, I do have a question. I noticed that one of the business partner you're working with is AB InBev. For those of you who know, AB InBev is one of the biggest beer company in the whole world. They make Corona, my favorite drinks. So I'm just wondering. Yeah. So I'm just wondering. I mean, what are you working with them? I mean, is this? Does it mean that the Corona that we are drinking may not be safe? Is there anything we're looking for that they're trying to detect?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Dr. Wong. The Corona you are drinking, it will be safer, and it is already safe. But we can save them a lot of money of the process, right? When you want Corona to stay the same color, the same flavor every time, this means it needs very, very exact monitoring, and this is what we give them. It is the easiest for us to be there. This is the low-hanging fruit for us.
Yeah, please make sure that happens.
Sure.
Okay, I got another question from Mr. Leo Tong. How is your business development plan? The AI-based service will be doing on cloud, or promises, or how? Basically, do you have anything? What's actually? I think the proper question is this: what is your plan in China? As you know, I mean, China is very protective of its data. For example, you do detection in China with the data. I presume the question about whether the data will be stored in China will not leave the country. I think that how do you ensure data privacy?
Thank you, Dr. Wong. This is a very good question, and I should have talked about it. I'm sorry I didn't. So it's a great question. The data, it can be on our cloud, or it can be on your cloud or on your servers. What we give is the software, and you can deploy it as long as you pay the subscription fee. You can deploy it on your end or on our end, it doesn't matter. What we will be happy is once in a while you share some of the data that you got. But this can be completely private, and we can have no access to it at all if so wanted.
So any questions from the floor? Any more questions?
So, Dr. Wang, do you have more questions?
No, I'm fine.
So I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and then we would like to invite Dr. So for the closing remark.
Hi, this is a very exciting time. We are in a time of, all these climate change, ESG. We are concerned about the environment. We are concerned about the water safety, very importantly. And now, even in China, that they have even with 20% of the whole population, we have about 7% sort of like a clean water. So that's why this is very imperative for us to engage in this water business. And now, as you see, the market is growing at a tremendous rate. And I think that this is a great opportunity. So this is a little presentation, but I'm sure that some of the, are you moving down? Hello? Okay. Now, I purposely put this. I'm sure that there are some Chinese audience there. They just want to see some of these highlights. And as you see, that this is the global water crisis that we are seeing. About 1 out of 10 people do not have access to the clean water, and that is a big problem. And that's why it is very important that 90% of our natural disaster relate to water, because of the climate change. As you see that all the flooding and everything is going on around the world. So that's why it's very important for us to engage in this water solution business to really help out the whole earth. Next one, please. Now, this is the China water shortage problem. As you see that with these big piece of land, 20% of the world population, and only about 7% of fresh water, and that's why it create problems, you know, in China when they grow the economy, you know. So that's why it's very important to have some kind of a technology be able to help out and to really try to excel the development of helping to have the clean water, both industrially and also maybe domestically. Next one. So you will see that these are the data that most of the speakers have talked about. So I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. So next one. So of course, because of the pandemic issue, you know, what we call the digital solution market, basically, you know, they have divided like a 6-7, you know, we need what we call the smart watering, water metering, smart online water sensors, smart leak detections, and smart pipe network and digital twin solution, you know, of the, as you see that nowadays it's a metaverse thing, and also the smart operation and maintenance. These are the things that really makes the, what we call the digital water solution grow, because there is very much needed to monitor the water quality. So that's why it's very important for us to engage in this business. And I think that, next one, please. You know, we are Newsight Imaging, developed the technology. And I'm very excited to let you know that Newsight Imaging Hong Kong has already established here in Cyberport. It's one of the companies. And I think with the relationship that we have worked with CMA, you know, that we try to engage the local technology or the Israeli technology with the local partnership with the local manufacturers. I'm sure there's a lot of synergies. We'll be able to develop what we call the application technology in the very near future. So, and as a Newsight Imaging Hong Kong chairman, I'm committed to promote this in the Asia Pacific, and hopefully that will really benefit not only Hong Kong, but you know the countries that beyond us. I think that with the help of Cyberport, I'm sure that we'll continue to crank up with some new application, new startups based on the technology that we have. So this is a very exciting moment for us. And as a news, I wear so many hats, right? Even for HP, you know, he used to be our AIB employees, you know. He learned about the spectral lit, you know, he has all experience. He went to Israel 2 months ago, you know, spent a wonderful time in Israel, doesn't want to come back here, you know. So right now, the good thing is that we have people on the ground able to help out, to help the industry or help the customer out to develop, because he's the one who actually liaises with our Israeli team to be able to push forward all the program that we have. So I'm glad to have him here coming back safely, right? So, you know, I think so. This is a very good time that we work as a team, you know, to really promote whatever that is invented in Newsight. And I'm sure that the Newsight, not only that we have the 1020 trips or the 2020 trips or 3000, you heard about. The next one that they're going to develop is called the NSI 9000 chips. And even more exciting, I think it will have the announcement in 3 months' time, right? This is really for what we call the digital twins or the metaverse or whatever application. So I'm so excited to be part of this Newsight family, and also that I'm committed to, because, you know, if Newsight is successful, I'm very happy, you know, my pocket will be heavier. So that's why, you know, I'm so committed, and thanks a lot with the Dr. Amanda and the team that we able to work together. You know, I'm working very closely together, not only to solicit some investment and continue to bring technology in this part of the world. And thanks Dr. Mr. Amir Lati, you know, who really helped to bridge the gap between Hong Kong and Israel. I think this is a wonderful time that we can work together closely as a team. So thank you very much for your coming, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you who are very interested in this and Watersight technology. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. May all you have